Howdy everyone, and welcome to the SolveSpace tutorial. For those who don't know, SolveSpace is a fully parametric CAD software that's both free and open source. I was drawn to SolveSpace because of its minimalist nature after Fusion 360 was heavily restricted. While there's some mainstream features that are missing, a fillet tool for example, I want to hopefully demonstrate that this software is fully capable for everyday CAD and can compete with other softwares like FreeCAD for basic modeling. Maybe in a future video I can demonstrate some of my workarounds for these missing features if there's interest. Also, I want to lay out my plan for these videos. I'm thinking about once per week I'll release a tutorial showing me doing one of these CAD challenges. I also have some personal projects that need CAD, so hopefully I can show those as well. Alrighty, and with that, let's get to the modeling. Okay, so here we have the Autodesk CAD challenges. I just found these online, so let's go ahead and get to it. So we're going to start with a blank work plane. We're going to put in an arc here. We're going to constrain those 2 points to be vertical by pushing V. Then we're going to constrain the center point of that arc to the origin by pushing O. That puts overlap on those points. And then again, constraining those to be vertical. Okay, we're going to go in and draw a rectangle here. Constrain that bottom line there to the point on the arc by pressing O. Now, SolveSpace doesn't like it when you have contours that don't line up, or that are not fully closed. So if you just select whatever contour and press G, that will take care of that. Okay, so looking at that, that's a radius of 15. So you go in here and you press D to dimension. Now SolveSpace automatically goes to diametrical dimensions. Diametric dimensions, yeah. And so when I type in 15, it thinks that's the diameter. So you can go in under this tool here and click that you want it to be the radius. And you can notice there's an R by the 15 there. So switching back, you know that the distance from the center of that arc to over here is 60. And now it says over in that window that we have 0 degrees of freedom. We can go ahead and extrude. It's extruded 30 millimeters, so we'll click right there, 30. Again, 0 degrees of freedom, so we know that's all done. Now we're going to want to create a new work plane for this next sketch. Right there. So we're going to go in here, select a line, a point, and a line, and hit Shift W. For some reason the keyboard display window doesn't show Shift, but that is a Shift W. Okay, we're going to go in and dimension that line right there. It's 9.0. And we'll dimension this here. I took this opportunity to show that SolveSpace can do arithmetic for you. So we know that is 60 minus 18 millimeters. So I typed that in here. Again, 0 degrees of freedom on this sketch. So we can go ahead and extrude by pushing that button there. Now we pull up this window by tab. You can cycle it on and off, and we'll select difference because we're subtracting that. And that was just selecting any point on that extrusion in one of those faces and pressing O. That now constrains that subtraction, and we'll hide that with tab. Now, I set this up so this sketch was originally, or that plane, I'm sorry, was originally in the middle of this body. for this specific reason. So you can press S and get a line segment. Connect those all together. And that's already fully constrained. So now we'll go ahead and extrude. Make sure to click two-sided. We want to make sure that it's a union, and we'll dimension this to 7 millimeters. All right. Again, going to create a work plane on the top surface there by selecting two lines and a point, hitting Shift W, hitting circle or C to create a circle, and D to dimension it, 15.0. That is a 15 millimeter diameter circle. And then I also take this opportunity to show that points don't have to be tied to specific features that are in their plane. So we're technically sketching on the top surface, but you can still tie into points that are below that. With that, we'll dimension these. We'll hit Q to make sure that they're equal. Now, SolveSpace, with making things equal, you can't select more than two things at a time, so that's why I had to do that the way I did. So we'll dimension that at 9. Notice that it says 1 degree of freedom. I didn't check that. That will come back in just a little bit here. Okay, go ahead and hit difference. Select that point, that face, hit O. Isometric view. Go ahead and hide all. And I think I'm done, except, wait, what's that? That's not right. So we'll go in, bring this menu back up, show all, and then we'll go back into that final extrude there. Notice that there's 1 degree of freedom. Something must be not right. So go hit that button to show us the sketch plane. And I pretty quickly realized the issue here. That guy is not fully dimensioned. So I tie that point by pressing O. And now we have 0 degrees of freedom. So we'll roll the sketch or the features forward. Hit isometric view. I don't like that one. That's not what they show. There you go. Okay, looks good. We'll go ahead, hide all. Hit tab to hide that browser there. And there you go. That's a very basic, fully parametric 3D model. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.